Hi everyone, welcome to Trauma Behind the Glamor.
Step into the world behind the spotlight with Trauma Behind the Glamor, a powerful new podcast hosted by none other than Ra. Each week, Ra sits down with artists from all walks of life, models, fashion designers, actors, and musicians who share their unfiltered stories of struggle and resilience. Discover the hidden battles they face and the mental health challenges that often lie beneath the surface of the glitzy facade you all admire. Listeners will get a taste of the raw conversations that reveal the truth behind the glamour. Hear snippets of heartfelt confessions and inspiring tales of triumph as guests open up about their journeys through trauma and healing. This podcast brought to you by the incredible minds behind Your Trauma Talks, to put the spotlight on the real lives of those you idolize, understanding in a different light. Yes, join us as we dive deep into the emotional landscapes of creativity, vulnerability, and the pursuit to authenticity. Tune in and explore the stories that shape these amazing individuals you all love. Are you ready to witness Trauma Behind the Glamour? Stay tuned. This is Rob, and I love you all. See you there.
And today, oh boy, wow. When I tell you that we are about to step into a world, as you can see, of art, into a world where trauma and healing connects by a bridge, a bridge of imagination, a bridge of resilience, a bridge of truth. And we're sitting here in the heart of New York City. And if you check some of these amazing artistry right behind me, you will see that it's the concrete jungle of New York City come together with animals in a way that it's so amazing in different ways. When I tell you we stand for you, to allow you to know that you are not alone. Our guest today, Calicho, is going to tell you his amazing story from where he was to where he is today. Tell you the stories of his struggles, the real truth behind his art. Think about this man who's about to tell you his story. He is sitting just a few feet away from the World Trade Center. This is where his art gallery is, and I want him to go deep and let you know that you are not alone. You know what Ross say all the time? What is meant for you shall never pass you by, and what passes you by was never meant for you. And this is why we're here today. Let me introduce my guest, Calicho.
Well, hello everyone. I'm Calicho Arévalo. I'm a Colombian Latino architect and artist, and I was born in Bogotá, Colombia. And as many of you know, Colombia has the stereotype of drugs and violence. And through the years, I realized it is, in fact, the main source of why I'm also what I am. I was born in a country where you grew up knowing that violence is part of the daily life, that you have to keep your phone safe, that you don't have to show what you have, that you have to grow with multiple fears, that no one is actually a good person. Don't trust a stranger. Don't live in an area that it looks so dark. So even when for me it was so natural and normal, knowing that violence was part of my daily life, when I grew up, I realized that was a big impact, because now I'm living in a country that there is no violence. So that like a chain of trauma, knowing of fears, now is free. So I'm gonna step a little bit back, and I'm gonna tell you that I was born in Bogotá, Colombia. I grew up in a family very Catholic and rigid in education, and I was very faithful through the school, and I was very religious. And however, I realized that I was not going to continue a path that was going to guide me to become a monk, and I quit that path to become an architect. Architecture was that place where I can draw and create things from the paper to the concrete. And I realized I wasn't so natural to place things on my creativity and offer something to people. So slowly I realized that I was enjoying life creating, and I became a creator. And at my beautiful Colombia, where I start to develop and paint and create houses, buildings, restaurants. And for over 9 years, I traveled the world working as in India, Mexico, Peru, and I work in multiple places as an architect. And I end up in a point in my life in New York as an internship for a company. And my plans initially was like, let's work a little bit, save some money, and continue traveling the world, maybe studying my master's or something. Pandemic hits and everything changed. I decided to start. I stayed longer than I expect. And life and things start to change my plans. And art start to take more importance in my life. Pandemic offered me the perfect canvas on the streets, and I start to grab the spray can and learn how to use it. So I start to paint multiple boards, and always with a service as an artist that I want to support Black Lives Matters, stop Haitian hate. And I was just with my spray everywhere with my watercolors at home, and always expressing something that it was my voice as an artist for the others. But I start to realize something, like I honestly am been expressing my favorite things in the universe, which is animals. When I was a little kid, I also had so much fear with animals. I was fear of dogs, of bunnies, of cats. I was a little bit scared of anything. And slowly I start to have actually more connection with different animals at the point that I love animals. So animals for me was also that channel to realize that I can overcome my fears. And animals for me is something that represents many of us. In fact, there is flags that represent a country, or there is many times that everybody identifies with an animal. So for me, wildlife is what has my heart on. So the animal and this opportunity for me on my art and represents me, he's been evolving. I was an architect for 10 years, but I became to be an artist, and now it's my 4th year as a professional artist. Definitely it hasn't been easy, because not everybody wants to buy an art piece. So Calicho started to realize that there is concepts that I had to introduce to the people to make my art makes more sense. So because I'm in this exploration situation, the first thing I said to myself was, the tale that doesn't express to others doesn't count. In Spanish, we said it like that: el cuento que no se cuenta, no cuenta. So for me, it was so important to build what's actually my story. Like in architecture, I suffer a lot of things like racism, and I suffer also the loneliness to be far away from my family. And art was the way to channel my loneliness, to channel the way that I was feeling sad, and art has been my expressing of my soul. So little by little I found my first concept that was oro puro, pure gold, which means that everybody is so valuable as the gold that was found in the colony in South America. This was especially for the Latinos that were the main working labor in the United States. Then I found my second collection that was a concrete jungle, and I've been starting to develop and find different symbols and things that for me are important. So my first symbol in oro puro that for me was very powerful was the humpback whale traveling from south to north with New York on top, which means wherever you go, you carry the sense of where you are. So this whale that is traveling south to north like me represents me, but represents many people that migrates from their original place to a new home. And Calicho start to idealize that maybe become an artist will be my solution for a new visa, for a new life. And slowly I start to picture myself on what will be the ideal Calicho art. And year by year, I've been looking and finding myself, because at the beginning I was painting a lot of doodles and people, "Oh, that's like Kid Haring, oh, that's like Mr. Doodle, this is like," and at the end it's like, it's great that I'm making art, but every time someone is comparing you with something. So for me it's been like a test and fail and finding myself. So Concrete Jungle came to me as a good opportunity and came with something very important, that was Flaco the Owl. Flaco was a bird that was living in New York. I started to do paintings of him, and the most amazing thing was that without planning and without ambition it, New York Times featured my art about Flaco. So many New Yorkers connect with my art, and I end up finding this opportunity to continue painting my collection of Concrete Jungle with Art on the Ave, a program that offers studios to artists, emerging artists like me. So as I start to develop my art, I found true connection with my art in this studio. And the most important things for me currently is body, mind, and soul. So if you see the 3 dots on the sides of my paintings, means the 3 principles for my life and the life for anyone: mind, body, soul. So if you connect with my art, you will see that you actually need these 3 elements in general for life. So Calicho art is still a baby and growing on developing his art style, but at least I have the principles of how I want to keep the guidance of that. Another thing that I can tell you is that my love for the wildlife is so powerful that I want to find more organizations that protects animals in the city or somewhere, so I can donate my art, or I can work in strategies to protect actually wildlife and transform my art in action. So if you have an organization, please reach out. If you love my story, please find a way to work with me. An artist doesn't live from selling the paintings every day, but I do multiple things. I do murals, performance. I love to connect with people. That is actually what fills my soul. So this is very quick my story, and this is how the art literally saved me from being full-time architect. This is how the animals, from fear to the animals, become my passion and my love, and this is how I became from a country from fear to living in a nation that I feel freedom, and I want to actually express happiness to others, a lifestyle and a way to, inspire more Latinos, more people around the world. And this is what I'm excited for. This is my present now, and I'm more excited for the future. Thank you.
Wow, Calicho. Wow, amazing, my friend.
Thank you.
I love how you did the part with the humpback whale, allowing others to know about the immigrants in this place, how far we travel, some of us, and how it is, how hard we work, that it just doesn't, like what some people think, we stumbled upon things. We work hard for it. So here's what we're going to do right now. We're about to set up and sit down and have an amazing conversation with this young man who is so incredibly talented on so many levels. We'll be right back. Hello everyone, welcome back to Trauma Behind the Glamor. Wow, Calicho, my friend, what a story. And you know what's beautiful about it? It really connects. It really helps others to understand you are not alone. And this is what we tell you. You hear a man, and a lot of people are still stuck in that place where the pandemic happened. He was one of those people who got hit with it, just like the 8+ billion people it affected. But he wasn't one of them who crawled under his blanket and stayed there crying. No, and I understand how that can happen to you, and I understand the feelings behind it. So this is not trying to trigger you to make you feel bad, no. But here was one of the soldiers who decided, I need to change certain things in my life. I need to make this happen, not for anyone, but for me. As he says, I'm an architect. And he took that architect in a concrete jungle and brought it alive. Not alive, just like alive interactively, but alive with art, with colors. And he made it with some beautiful animals. This is, to be honest, all your paintings are beyond really amazing. And plus the secrets I saw within it. But this one really stands out.
Thank you, Ram.
This one stands out, and I can tell it has a story behind it. So, Calicho, with all the struggles you've been through, and I can tell because how you explained that part with the whale, carrying part of your beauty, part of you, something you cherish with you. Every time I leave this city and I go to any city in the world, I take part of New York City because guess what? Home is home.
Exactly.
And there's nothing else that can help you get through a dark moment but where the heart know home is. So at this moment, I want you to tell, during some of your dark moments where you're like, even the art, where it doesn't come alive in the way you imagine it to be, how do you keep going? How do you keep stepping forward?
I think right now it's like I manifest a lot of what I want in life, and I'm a dreamer and a visionary, and you know it's like when I decide to step out of architecture, it's like if I stop this that I've been doing my whole life, I'm gonna do the art, and it's like I'm gonna go all the way. I'm not gonna be like maybe I paint. It's like I have to do what is my mission. I'm gonna express as more I can all the way with art. So it's like if I'm putting my heart, my soul, my ambition of become a great artist, and mostly for myself. I'm not doing this because the people needs to see me. It's like I want to put myself and see how capable I am to become a great artist. So that's why I'm in this path right now. Like, you know, I want to prove myself, to find myself, to heal myself with art, and let's see where it brings me, you know. But of course, dark moments, I've been having so many, and actually part of this darkness is reflected on my art, always with dark portals, because the portals are this darkness that we are sometimes, and as a seed comes from the ground and emerge in life, was a baby that comes from the belly and then born, we are multiple times in life like that. From the darkness we emerge and just find the light.
I love that. From the darkness we emerge and we find that light. And we tell you all the time, you hear it on many different places, that there is that light at the end of the tunnel. And they always tell you, you look forward to that pot of gold. The pot of gold at the end of every rainbow. Because imaginary things even makes the life come to life. Because what you imagine and you dream about, as he says, manifest. And manifestation has been going on. Just it's more open because of social media, and still many don't understand manifestation. Manifestation doesn't mean to say, I'm going to manifest $1 million today and within the next few days it's going to happen. No, it comes with a journey. It comes with a struggle. It comes with a story, as we're hearing today. What really inspires you to bring the art of the city of New York alive?
The diversity, the people and the architecture. The city itself is my muse. So I feel like just going out to the train and see people from everywhere, it just inspires me, you know. Find food, colors, and the diversity for me is my favorite thing of New York, and that's what inspires me daily in my art.
I am very touched by you saying this. Long ago, I love this city. I came here about 26 years ago, and I love this city so much that sometimes you meet people and you're trying to explain to them, but their minds are so dirty by things they hear about our city that they can never see the beauty you're painting for them. And then I would meet and stumble across amazing souls like you that I don't get jealous, but I feel connected that someone can see the beauty. I will just be walking down the streets and be like, oh my God, and that building was there for the past 26 years. But then you spot the architecture and then you're like, oh my God, because everything has changed so differently that when you see a structure like that now, it shows out. So now you're looking at this in a different eye that you've never seen it with before. New York City, I always tell people, especially when it comes to the hub of energy like Times Square, its energies, as he said, diversity. When I tell you every single tourist from around the world that wants to come to New York City have to and do go to Times Square.
Yeah.
And Times Square is the hub of good energy because everyone is happy, is excited when they go there. I remember one of my cousins coming here in 2012 and I took him to Times Square and he just looked up and he was going crazy and he's in Times Square and I'm like, yeah. And he's like, this is what they call the concrete jungle? And I was like, this is what you call pure beauty. You have to see it. You have to be able to accept it and let it go from in between you. You said, I am from Bogotá, a place where you were scared. You can't put your phone down. You're afraid of different things. But right now in our beautiful city, that I say at times is crying, we have so many things happening right now. How would you compare, because these are triggers that happen, sometimes things that you don't heal from, because I tell people all the time, we heal every single day. When something happened yesterday, we got to keep healing from that. How does the triggers of the past from your homeland interact in a way that you have to breathe and tell yourself, hey, Calicho, it's okay?
Well, that's a job that I still doing. Especially, I take therapy every week, basically. And with my therapist, I've been working through many things that happens in my childhood in order to heal myself. So there is many topics that I'm working. I'm in work in progress, and I think I'm gonna be many years more, because being alone and also recognize and accept my mistakes is what is being hardest, especially with someone that has an ego like mine. It's like it's okay to say I'm wrong, or it's okay to say I need to fix this. So I'm a work in progress, and definitely, like, for me right now, is the most important is that I know now what are my red flags and how I'm removing and putting it as a green one.
You see, this is another thing. Childhood trauma does so many different things to you as an adult. And here he's telling you how he's working through it with therapy. We tell you all the time. Through therapy, through yoga, through exercise, through singing, dancing, meditating, it all helps with your mental health, your mental well-being, to have a better tomorrow. And one of the greatest parts about all this, to be able to go for therapy, you have to start loving yourself. Loving yourself and accepting the fact that you told yourself, hey, you did good. Thank you for bringing me from yesterday to today. You are amazing. You are loved because you are you. Help them to know that I need help. I need to be a better person. I need to elevate my soul with the beauty around me. And those are the things that really sits deep within to help you step out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, I feel like I'm starting to also take classes of improv and more stuff with my body. And one of the classes, the teacher told us, write a letter to yourself.
Yes.
And now express to the others. And I was so beautiful to feel that this letter was so precious that I was kissing myself like, oh my God, I'm so proud of what you're gonna do, but I know what you want. It's okay. Everything is going fine. So love yourself. I think that's the most important. With your faults and with your imperfections, love every single corner of you.
And when you love yourself, make sure you love yourself not selfishly, but selflessly, that you want others to love you like that. You want to spread that love, not in a way that you're envious of anyone or wanting to be like them, but actually in your own self. your own self-worth of who you are. When you manifest the beauty from within. And this is the greatest parts of it. One of the things I have to ask you, and it's itching me to ask you, is you are downtown on Fulton Street and Broadway by the World Trade Center. Tell us about some of the challenges you have facing having an art gallery that you put so much work into, and then you still have these stumbles that you shouldn't be having.
Well, I don't know how to describe this. This is an amazing opportunity, a major step in my life, thanks to Art on the Ave, a program that helps the artists like me, offering studios and offering opportunities to showcase art. And honestly, it's been hard. It's been hard to being all the time so public, so visible, because I'm in a glass window place, and sometimes you want privacy. Sometimes you want to come to the studio and paint and no one sees you. You want to have you creative and dance and do things that makes you feel free. But here, sometimes you're dancing and then suddenly you see someone recording you or something. You're like, okay, I want sometimes my privacy. The second, it's a subway station, so everyone is in the commute of, I'm going home, everyone is in the rush. The Olympic sport in New York is walk fast and go in rush. And this is, I think, one of the favorite areas for the New Yorker to go fast. So, everyone is just pass super quick. So very few people actually stops and what is this? And they start to come. So it's tough to be in one place where everyone is just passing. And when I catch someone, I feel special, you appreciate actually art. So it's great, it's beautiful also to have so many screens with my art and with the message of the portal and this concrete jungle. So for me, it's definitely a moment that I want to have memory my whole life. Even if I sell one painting or 1,000, for me is one of the places that I've been feeling more special than ever in my life.
Well, I would feel special to be here too. You have to remember, even though you say all these things, you see those little stories that tell you where you said you feel special. When people come in and they ask you these questions and they want to know about your art, that is what you say. Calicho, you did good. And not only with that is, I would always remember, I used to work on Wall Street. This is the financial hub of the world. You're on Fulton Street, it goes down to Broadway, down to Wall Street. So people are always busy. But you will catch people, because I know if I'm on lunch and I walk around, I will spot this. This is beautiful. It's amazing. I look at your beautiful art gallery outside and the setup, your painting, everything is beautiful. And you can tell it comes from a pretty place inside of you. With that being said, it's let's just say we sell this. How would it go? How would you do this? A piece like this? How much would it go for? And tell us a little story behind it.
Well, this one doesn't have a price yet, but an art piece like this first comes from the concept of, for me, is this city of heroes. I was born in the year, on the time I was a kid, New York for me was the city of heroes. It was the city of King Kong, Spider-Man, X-Men, Fantastic Four, Ninja Turtles, Batman, etc. So many.
Yes.
And all in New York. But I'm making a series of little King Kong, little Godzilla, a baby Statue of Liberty, carrying things that were part of this story. So for me, is that melancholic memory of the kids of today. They don't see that New York as a hero city. They have different things on the animes and things. So for me, is that in my heart, I keep that hero. In my heart is that kid that is still believing is the Gotham of Batman, is the Spider-Man from Queens, So I'm trying to bring back the memory of that. So you feel identified of those memories. I feel this is a painting for you. And, this is for me, the art.
Wow, you went so deep. You got me all teary because I connected with you. My book, I have a book, a children's book. It's about change. It happened during the pandemic, called Melly and the Pandemic. And through Melly's window, you see the Empire State Building. There's always a story of why you want to highlight this city. And highlighting the Empire State Building is something you cannot ever go wrong with, because this is New York City, and what stands out is the Empire State Building. When you talk about King Kong, I remember my childhood watching King Kong. We didn't have the new King Kong of these days. We had the King Kong that climbed the Empire State Building. It's, you know, I love how you connect your art with everything, especially with the city. And this is what's helping you blossom. The city, if you love New York City, it loves you back. And this is one of the things I tell people. You know, this was an amazing, different interview behind Trauma Behind the Glamor. Now, you've been to art school, you've been to you bring these things alive, all your paintings and everything. I am sure you showcase it. And this is one of the things we speak about on Trauma Behind the Glamour. People see the glam. They see you at a fashion show. We met you at a fashion show.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, we see all the glam. You're looking good. You have all these beautiful paintings. But they don't know what happens in the background. The people that you trust and they betray you. The people that you look up to and you share love to. And in the end, they turn around and stab you in the back. How and what advice do you have for someone just like yourself who went through that hurt, that betrayal, how you overcome? Tell us a story that actually had you in a bad place because of things like this.
This was recent.
Wow.
No, I feel like the best advice is like don't take these kind of situations too personal. Like God is good all the time, and also always the timing will be perfect and everything is written. So I feel like there is no way that you could change what happened, but you can in the future always forgive yourself and also forgive others. Don't keep hard feelings. And you know, I'm the type of person that I believe that we're in a bunny path, not in a rat race. So if I hurt someone in the past, I'm definitely gonna be very open to reconnect and hug and say I'm sorry for the person I was in the past, and I'm growing day by day to become a better person. So, you know, it's like life is love is the answer. You know, it's what I can tell you.
So he tells you love is the answer. Even when you make a mistake, you reflect and you look back and you know you made a mistake. Saying sorry is one of the most amazing things you can do. And not only that, you don't stop loving. You can reconnect with someone, but always remember where you left off. Always remember there is something else there. And sometimes, as we say, God takes certain people out of your life for all the right reasons. Sometimes you would not be growing just because of an individual's energy in your life.
Oh my God,
as
so
you talk
accurate.
about manifesting.
Yeah.
And I know you know about that. And sometimes it's okay to let those people go.
It hurts. Sometimes let that people goes. It hurts because it's so attached to you that you are scared to leave that person or that people go of your life. And it took me 2 or 3 years to let that person go. And now that I'm you know, in a next step of my life. Energies flow. One door closes, another opens.
One door don't open, 10 doors open. But because you're holding on to that door that's closed, you don't see and recognize the other ones that's opening for you. You have to let go. Ross said it all the time. Think about the beat up old, the Titanic's busted old ocean liner's anchor, and you're pulling that on the seashore, and you're gathering garbage. You don't want that in your trauma. You don't want that in your life. Every day is a trauma. Every day is a story. You have to let go. Let go, take a deep breath, smile, and know what you're doing. You're doing it for you in a good way. You hear him speak about all these things. This is what keeps him going. This is what you need to do. In a time when he was down and out, he looked for a new avenue. Look for a new avenue. Just like there once was a man who had the blues because he had no shoes. Down the street, he met a man who had no feet. I tell you this all the time. Remember, believe in you because you can, you shall, and you will. Tell them where they can find you and where they can come and look for you and find this beautiful art in the city.
Well, physically, I'm in Fulton Center Station, downtown Manhattan. Inside the train station, you find the spiral staircase. I'm right next in the ground floor. Online, you find me in calichoart.com or any social media as well, Calicho, TikTok, X, or YouTube. You will find me on those media. And Instagram, a lot in Instagram, a lot of stories. You find my shows, you find my events. Like, please stay in touch.
Wow, when you follow him on Instagram, you're mind-blowingly awakening from inside. So, you know, this is Mr. Trauma Talks, and we bring you the best. This time we wanted to let you come out in someone's studio and feel how we feel when we connect with this amazing soul. Remember, if you want to be on the podcast, message us, DM us, email us, ylewrah@gmail.com. If you're listening on the podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple iTunes, wherever you're listening to the podcast from, I want you, if you have any questions, remember to email us as well. And follow us on Mr. Trauma Talks. Look for us on your Trauma Talks. This is Calicho and Mr. Trauma Talks Raw. I love you all. We love you all. Be good, be you, and believe in you. So, Calicho, you've been on a journey, and in this book is true stories and journeys of others, just like yourself, immigrants, people who been there in the past, in the 70s, in the 80s, who've been raped, who've been abused, who've been, you know, they have a story similar to yours.
Wow.
And they all overcome. So I would love, as you told me, Calicho said, he reads 20 minutes a day, and which is recommended for everyone. And I want to present this for you, for doing this with us from your Trauma Talks. I want to tell you thank you, and I wish you good luck. I know we're going to see each other more, but at this time, I hope that some message in here will be able to resonate with you and help you to move forward any day you're stuck. Because guess what? At the end of every story, there are 24 stories in here, including one of mine. And at the end of every story, I give my advice on how the situation should have unfolded, what the person would have done, or I just said, wow, hats off to that person, because I couldn't think about how I would handle that.
Wow.
Because most of the time, we have to put our feet in someone else's shoes before we know what can happen. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
God bless you.
I think I received this in the right moment, in the right place. I'm gonna really read it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Raw, Untold Stories, Hidden Truths. Get it on Barnes & Noble, Amazon. Thank you so much.